they're very interested in being good citizens, if you will. And so they're looking for ways that they can advance the mission.
That's very interesting. I'm fascinated by your conversation, particularly how you service businesses and the way that you utilize that. What makes your nonprofit work? When people see disability in and then North Carolina, they
Mhm.
probably think it's
Yep.
a nonprofit through North Carolina. So what makes your
Mm.
nonprofit different from what a government or
It's a great
for-profit?
question. That's a really, really great question. Okay, so government isn't working at the level that we're working, which is business to business. We pride ourselves in, one company comes and they talk to another company
Mm-hmm.
and they generate ideas together and they lift the market together, as opposed to, one at a time. In my middle space between teaching and getting to disability in North Carolina, I worked in the job coaching area where I actually was at UNC Charlotte with Dr. David Test, and we started some of the very first job coaching programs in the entire state back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran a nonprofit for over 20 years that did job coaching, and we would approach the business. So our effort was a kind of push, right? Would you please consider interviewing this young man or this young lady, for your available position? So we're kind of pushing. We like to say at Disability in North Carolina that we're about pull.
Right.
The business pulls in the candidate
I love that.
and says, we are now ready for this experience. Our policies are in place. We know what we're doing. We would like to accommodate you. And so we'd like to pull in the talent. And that's a different framework.
Mhm.
You need both in a marketplace, right? But we have predominantly been pushing.
Yeah.
And I would submit to you that it sort of jumps over what the business is A, capable of doing, and B, really wants to do, which
Mhm.
is to create a climate where they're getting the best of the best.
Mhm.
There are no compromises being made here, right?
Mhm.
So the talent has to align with whatever the job description is,
That's right.
and it has to align with whatever goals that this company has, for their alignment with their mission and with their place in the community. But a very different story when the employer says, "I am ready to hire people who are neurodivergent."